Hello, how are you? I'm creating this video because I believe it will definitely help someone. The first step to mastering a language is to get very acquainted with the pronunciation before anything else. In this case, I'm teaching the pronunciation of the Spanish language. So here I go. The first letter on my list is the name of this letter. It's ñ, but the sound is ñ, ñ, ñ. The examples that I have here, it's niño, a boy, a young kid, niña, a girl, a young kid. So ñ, 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 niño, niña. Now, the combination of the letter G with the letter with the letter U, it's either a G sound or a W sound. So it's either G, G or W, W. And it's a G sound if it's in front of an E or an I, the letter E or the letter I. For example, here is guerra, guerra, which means war. Guisar, which means to stew. Now, the only way or the only place where you will see this as a W sound, it's if an A follows this combination. For example, here it says guardia. This means guard, like a security guard. Guardia. So this is a W sound. There's no letter O and no letter U after this combination. Now moving on to this combination. The Q with the letter U. This makes a K sound. And only an E or an I can follow this combination. So here I have two examples. ¿Qué? What? ¿Quién? Who? So remember, the U is silent if it's after a Q. It's a combination. It makes one sound. There could be a rare exception here. For example, like a loan word like status quo. In Spanish, it's el status quo. And you can put an O there. It will be quo, el status quo. Now, moving on to the letter G. The letter G can either have a g sound or a h sound. So it can have like a h, like the H in English. It will only have a h sound if an E or the letter I follows this letter. For example, here it says gente. Gente means people. Okay, so, and for the other vowels, O, A, and U, this will sound as g, g. For example, gota. Gota means drop, like a drop of water, or it can also mean gout, like the disease. Gato. Gato means cat. If I drop the O and put an A instead, it will be gata, a female cat. Now moving on to the next combination. This combination it's more rare, but we do use it in Spanish. It has the same sound as a W, 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 w. So right here, my example, it's güero. Güero means a blonde male person. But this word güero, it's more common in Mexico. So be aware of that. Güero. Now if I drop the O and put an A, it would be güera, a blonde female person. Now pingüino, of course, it means penguin. So right here, pingüino. W, 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 w. So I hope this was really clear. Now moving on to the double R. Double R will always be a strong R. So it's R. R. The example that I have here is carril. This is a lane, like a lane from the road. Like I'm going to move over to the other lane. Carril. Carro means car. You don't have to exaggerate. You don't have to go like carril, carro. No, just carril, carro. Now moving on to the single R. This letter, the R, can have either a soft R or a strong R. So it can either be r, 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 or r. I have examples here. Pera. So the letter R here, it's a soft R. It's just like this. R, 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 r. Ra. Pera. R. So it's very brief and soft. R. Pera. This means pear, the fruit. Tarde. Now you see that the single R, it's in the middle of the word, but it's making a strong sound. Tarde. Now over here, the letter is at the end, but it's going to be a strong sound. Juzgar. Juzgar. This means to judge. This means late, or it can also mean the afternoon. La tarde. The afternoon. In a few minutes, I'm going to explain when is a soft R, 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 ra, re, ri, ro, ru. And I'm going to explain when is a strong R, r, just like this one. But this one is always r. Now moving on to the letter C. The letter C can have either a K sound, k, 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 or an S sound, s, s, s. I have an example here. Cine. Now, this is something important to know. It's going to make an S sound if it's in front of the letter I or the letter E. For the other letters, O, A, U is going to make a K sound. K, k. Now here we have cine, cinema, like to go to the movies. El cine, the cinema, cine. And I will highlight something important. In Spain, in central Spain especially, this will sound cine. It's like the TH in English, cine. And this will be cenar. But this is in Spain. You don't have to learn the Spaniard way of pronouncing the letter C. But if you want to, you can. But what I'm mainly teaching here is Latin American Spanish. Of course, they are the same language, Spanish from Spain and Spanish from Mexico. There is the same language, but there are some key differences, and especially the th sound that we don't have in Mexico. So just focus on the S sound. Cine, cenar. Cenar means dinner. There's an airplane passing by. So cenar means to dine, to eat dinner. Cenar. Now over here is not the letter E or the letter I, so it's gonna be a K sound. Casa. Casa means house. La casa, the house. Cosa. Cosa means thing. It can be an object or an abstract idea. Cosa. Okay, so I will move on to the next letter. So the letter Z, we don't have a Z sound in Spanish, so there's no such thing. So automatically this letter, it's just an S sound. So it's S, S. In Spain, this letter would be th, th, th. So in Spain, this will be zapato. But in Latin America, zapato. Now, the letter E or the letter I cannot follow this letter. Only A, O, and U. And in Spain, it will be th, th. And in Latin America, s. So in Latin America, zapato. Juzgar. Zapato means shoe. Now, if I add the letter S right here, it would be plural. So just by adding the letter S to zapato, you make it plural. It would be zapatos and shoes. And that would mean shoes. Juzgar, to judge. Now moving on to the letter V. We don't have the V sound in Spanish, so automatically this letter is the same as the B as in baby. So B, B, B. Verbo, this means verb. Victoria, of course, in English will be Victoria. Now, for Portuguese speakers, it's na Vitória. In Spanish, we have the C and it's a K sound. Victoria. Now, moving on to the letter H. The letter H, it's silent. It doesn't make any sound. It's only used, I believe, to create meaning to words that were created. Hermano. So you start here with the E sound. Hermano. This means brother. If I drop the O and put the letter A here, it would be hermana. Sister. Now over here is hijo. The H, of course, is always silent. We never pronounce it. So you start from here with the E sound, hijo. This means son. Now if I drop the O and put the letter A here, it would be hija, daughter. Now moving on to the letter J. The letter J makes the same sound as the letter H in English. Jugar. This means to play. Like the kids like to play. A los niños les gusta jugar. Juntar. Juntar means to put two things or two people together, or it can also mean to pick up something from the ground. Juntar. Jinete. This is a horseback rider. Jinete. Now, here you can say el jinete or la jinete. So you would use the article to indicate if it's a female or a male. Jugo. In Spain, in Spain they say zumo, which means use. So you will see this in Spain. Zumo. But in Latin America, which all the countries in America that speak Spanish, jugo. This means use. Jugo. So keep this in mind.